Hi everyone, I'm here to review your do now for 1.3.6, which was originally supposed to be from March 24th. This would be problem number 13, A. And so what I have here is an interesting function. And all they want to know, they don't want you to come up with the equation. All they want is for you to tell them whether this is in fact an even or an odd function, or whether it's neither. We've done this before. Let me just review. An even function is one that has symmetry about the y-axis. So if it's even, it looks like a heart, and when you flip it over, the one side of the heart lands on the other. That is an even function. Anything that is symmetric about the y-axis. The odd function is a little bit different, and odd functions have what we refer to as rotational symmetry. Now, what do we mean by rotational symmetry? Rotational symmetry means when I take my original function and I rotate it 180 degrees. Does that, in fact, land on the original function? Ava, would you hold the... No, I need to hold the camera. Can you do that? Don't just leave it right there. Perfect. Okay, and so what I mean by rotational symmetry is this. I'm going to give you, I've actually made the top red and the bottom of my graph black so that you can see what the change is. So when I make a 90-degree rotation, it looks like that. That's one turn. Look at the arrows. And when I make a second 90-degree turn, that's a 180-degree rotation. And what do we notice? That the graph has returned back to the original state, back to the parent function. And so, and again, let me do it again. So we started like this. We make one turn, and we make two turns. And so the shape itself lands back on the original. So 180-degree rotation will give you an odd function. Now, that is A. Let's go to B. B is a parabola, and it stretches from -4 to 4, so my domain goes from -4 to +4, and they'd like to know whether this is an even or an odd function or neither. So again, if a function is odd, it's only odd. If a function is even, it's only even. And if a function is neither even nor odd, we just say that it's neither. Now remember what I said, if you take it and you reflect the shape about the y-axis, if it lands on itself, you have an even function. So this is in fact an even function. The last one was odd. 13A is odd. So let me just write that in, because again, this is your do now from 324. And so 13A was odd. And because it rotated, it had rotational symmetry about the origin. And then this one is in fact even. So again, let's understand this. So looking forward, how are we going to know it's an even function? You can use your Desmos right on your computer to graph the functions themselves and take a look and see. But there's also some things that we can look at that we know are going to cause a transformation which will not yield in a reflection about the y-axis being symmetric. So what we want to look for, and here's just a little note, if my original function is a parabola, this is just one example of even functions. If you take x squared, there's many things you can do to it, and it will still maintain being an even function. You can shift it up or down as much as you want. I could shift this up here, I could shift it down below, and it would still reflect upon itself about the y-axis. You can do any type of a vertical stretch or compression. You could have 6x squared, which will just stretch my whole shape out vertically, and that will still maintain being an even function. You can do any type of a compression or stretch horizontally. So if I have something like this, x divided by 2, which is 1/2 of x squared, and then that would give me a horizontal stretch by a factor of 2. Remember, in the house, it's kind of the opposite of what we think. So if it was on the outside as 1/2, that would be a vertical compression, but if it's inside, it's a horizontal stretch. I apologize. And again, so that's 13A and B. Let's take a look at 13C now. And again, we just want to know if this is going to have be an even function or an odd function. I'm going to need help with this one. I need help. So right here, if you flip, take the camera, please, Ava. If you flip one side onto the other, okay, if we flip this little red over the y-axis, it would be over here, and the black would be over there, and that would not, in fact, resemble the original. If I said go ahead and rotate it, now remember the little hump is on the bottom. Let's watch. Rotate it 90 degrees and 180 degrees. Is the little hump on the bottom? Nope, now the little hump is on the top. And so this is 13C, and 13C is neither even nor odd. Neither even nor odd. Neither one of them. Okay, that's it for your do now for 1.3.6. 1.3.6. Okay, let's go on to the classwork. I'm not going to do all of them, but I will do several. Hang tight. Here we go.